What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Terence Bud Crawford and the haters that he has. Okay, I want you guys to look at this particular image here, okay? And it has an image full of excuses on why Bud Crawford won, okay? And I'm starting from the top, okay? Is it just me, or does these gloves look loaded? Hashtag Crawford, hashtag Spence. Okay, wow. All right. Here's some more. I made a comment on Fight Night about these gloves. Something doesn't add up here. Loaded gloves can damage a fighter. That's two. Here's the next one. Crawford has a track record for dodgy gloves, so I wouldn't put it past him. Here's four. I ain't gonna lie, I said the same thing. Fight night, but I don't know. In the middle, guys. Errol needs to investigate the fight. Crawford's hands were stacked and his gloves were loaded. Plus, the sanctioning bodies drugged Errol for speaking out against them. What? Bud has never bruised up somebody's face in 2 rounds. Something is fishy. There's more. Crawford had loaded gloves, double stacked, his hands wrapped, cheating ass. I can't respect it. Boxing needs to clean it up. I think they had magnets in them. And the last one is, his gloves were suspicious in the David Avanesian fight. And let me counterpunch, people. I knew this would happen. I knew. And it just shows you, though, how glued and obsessed a fan is to a fighter. That's all it's really telling me. These guys that are fans of fighters really get to me. The bromance, the man crush syndrome. I don't understand it, really. I mean, I've liked fighters over the years, but what I've learned about boxing is like watching Game of Thrones. Don't get to liking somebody too damn much, because the minute you do, they get taken out. Boxing is the same way. Boxing, you can be on top of the world in 2007. By 2010, who knows who you are? Nobody. That's how it goes. Okay? That's the reality of boxing. Oscar De La Hoya was the shit in 2005. You know what I mean? But he retired in 2008 because he got the stuffing beat out of him by Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. Speaking of Pacquiao 2010 was on top of the world. 2012, he was knocked out cold. You know what I mean? So what a difference in the sport of boxing. It's the sport that I love, that I hate so much, but it's a double-edged sword, because as a fighter, you should understand the game, the politics rather, because I don't even call it a game. You can't call it a game. You have to understand the politics and the reality of boxing. You're not always going to fight at a top level. You're not always going to be 100%. You're not always going to be that guy that's favored. You're not always going to be that guy that's marketed. Okay, there's a lot dealing with boxing, and it's more than just the fighters. Now, because of the politics and the surrounding BS of boxing, you do have to honor and respect the people that do it. Okay? Yeah, we all have love for it. But then again, you should hate it equally, because it's the politics that be. Because you are a guy that's fighting against a lot of stuff in the sport. So that being said, you should understand that boxing has a time limit. But when a fighter, I mean a skilled special fighter, is amongst us, we should respect that. Okay? But it's hard to do with these fighters that damn near worship these other fighters. I mean, these fans worship these other fighters. It's crazy. It's crazy. These fight fans are like, no, it can't be. Dude, you're making that shit up. You're reaching. Like Freddy Krueger. Like, dude, what are you doing? You know what I mean? And I'm like, all right. All this is supposed to be true. These gloves, these this, that, Yeah. ESPN, or should I say, Everlast, immediately, oh, they were defective gloves. Based on where they were at, yes, they should have been regulated more. That's not Terrence Crawford's fault. David Avenesian, I don't know how he will come out. I just wish the best for him. But would he have got knocked out anyway? Yes, he would have. Understand something else about gloves. Gloves are meant to protect the fighter's hands. Okay? And Terrence Crawford's knocked people out before. Ask Kell Brook. Ask Jeff Horn. Ask Yoriokas Gamboa. Ask Errol Spence. And the number one thing people are overlooking that's following this garbage is the fact, is the fact that nothing has came up about the gloves of Terrence Crawford in this fight. So, based on the regulation, this being an undisputed fight. So if this was an undisputed fight, do you know how many belt associations and sanctioning bodies were there with their own representatives to make sure shit went the way it's supposed to go? WBO, WBC, IBF, IBO, and WBA. All of those guys were there because it was an undisputed fight, people. Okay, so yeah. You think Derek James is an idiot? He might have an ego problem just a bit, but he's no idiot. He knows how things are wrapped. You don't think he was there? One of his guys were there looking at what could be possible and a problem? Of course he was. So for you guys that are fans of this shit, of the loaded gloves and the glove gate, because, Deontay Wilder really just, damn, he really tore a hole in this, man. You know what I mean? He was the one that broke this in. You know what I mean? He broke the hymen on this shit. You guys thinking that that's real, you're also disrespecting not only your fighter, but your fighter's corner. Okay? Your fighter's corner is responsible for that. For them and for you saying, hey, they cheated, that means you're saying that their side overlooked or allowed it to happen based on their own negligence or ignorance or inability to see what the hell was really going on. That's what I'm saying. So you're really disrespecting the fighter as well as the fighter that you're accusing, first of all, and the fighter's side because they are the ones that were watching the gloves and watching the hand wraps. Okay? Just like JD's was watching the hand wraps of Deontay Wilder's side. Okay, and he never really made or put any energy, a lot of energy into that. He just, I had words with him, but he's still there, isn't he? JD still has a job to this day. So, too bad for Mark Breland or whatever that is. But this case here is ridiculous, and this is just more of it that you guys that are fans or fanatics or obsessors or whatever can't take reality that Terrence Crawford beat the shit out of your fighter, Errol Spence. And Errol Spence isn't even entertaining it, so why are you guys? But I guess you have to have a resistance somewhere. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of these fanatical guys starting Glove Gate 3.0 or 4.0 or whichever O that's around these days. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.